executive session officially.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then I would like to ask for a motion to seal the minutes of the executive session.
So moved.
And second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we are out of executive session, technically. And at this time, 7 o'clock p.m., if I could ask Mr. George to call the roll, please.
Greg Lavasnier.
Here.
Karen Carlson. Here. Karen McGee.
Here.
Wayne Astley.
Here.
Ben Shibley.
Here.
Nick Waters.
Present.
Nicholas Gorham.
Here.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Spearman, if you could lead us, please, in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just remain standing, please, for a second. Dear Lord, this time of the year, we give thanks. Thanks for all your blessings. Thanks that we're living in the United States of America. Thanks for our family, friends. Special thanks for all those that help the less fortunate. And please, Lord, we ask your blessing and guidance as we begin this meeting, the first meeting in the month of November. Amen. And Mr. Spearman, for evacuation plan, please, if you would.
Please, for emergency, the two exits in the rear and just go to your right and left. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, next on the agenda, approval of the town council minutes from the meeting of October 24th. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I ask, is there any discussion on the minutes? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Approved, thank you. Okay, prisoners' comments, F. I do have a few. First and foremost, I'd like to, on behalf of the town council, the town manager, the town of Coventry, thank the voters of Coventry for approving question 8. As we know, we had tried several times over the past decade or two, but overwhelming approval, over 60% of the voters decided to approve a new senior center and human services center and a new police department to the tune of $12 million bond. This will be done over several years. Both are sorely needed, and in a day and age where money is tight, to have that type of approval, that says a lot. The confidence the voters have in the town, the faith they have in the senior center and the human services and in our police department. Secondly, I'd like to congratulate both Councilman Lavasnier and Councilman McGee on their re-election to the council, and to also Councilwoman-elect Deb Bacon on her election to District 5.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Also, congratulations go to both Ann Dixon and Dave Florio on their re-election to the Coventry School Committee. And finally, congrats to all of our state senators, all 2 of them, and all 6 state representatives on their re-election. It's a lot of work, as I know, to run for office and to serve, and also to run for office even though you might not be elected. We thank the candidates at all levels. Thirdly, upcoming community events. I know it's been in the Kent County Times and Reminder, but this Friday we have the monthly breakfast at the Coventry Senior Center, but probably even more important is the Thanksgiving celebration, also Friday, also at the Coventry Senior Center, starting at 11 o'clock. It has a 2-piece band, Al Wild and all are invited. I think the cost is a big $3 plus bringing 2 or 3 canned goods to go to the Coventry Food Bank. One last announcement on community events, and it's already out, is that community, I should say Christmas at Spell Hall is scheduled for Saturday, December 10th. And maybe some of you have seen that, but that's the General Nathaniel Green Homestead. There is the fee of $5 for adults, $3 for children. The individual reenactors will be dressed in their uniforms. They have holiday music, and it should be a great time as we start our Christmas holiday celebrations. Fourthly, I have seen the notice that Coventry is currently accepting applications to fill vacancies on the following boards: Coventry Land Trust, the Tax Assessment Board of Review, the Sewer Assessment Board of Review, the Juvenile Hearing Board, and the Planning Commission. As we know, we depend on volunteers to serve the town of Coventry, and you can get an application right here from the town hall, and you can also go online, coventryri.org, to make out an application if you are interested, and we certainly could use your help. And lastly, I'd like to wish everyone, in case I forget tonight, a very happy Thanksgiving for next Thursday, 10 days away. Again, we have a lot to be thankful for. That said, that's the end of my comments. We have council district updates. Mr. McGee, District 3, please.
Yeah, I'd like to pretty much echo your sentiments too. I have nothing going on in my district, needs any recording. However, I do want to thank the voters of District 3 for putting trust in me again for another 4 years. And I would like to also congratulate all the candidates who ran and successfully won their races. And I look forward to working with Councilman Bacon and the rest of the council for the next 4 years. And also wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. It's coming up in a week. One other note I just want to make, it's not in my district, but I was coming home today and they've started construction on Arnold Road. It's a mess. Avoid Arnold Road in all ways you can. It was backed up almost all the way to the landfill. So just make sure you detour yourself around Arnold Road. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. Mr. Aslan,
Yeah,
District 5.
Just a couple of things. The town has been working well. I thank the solicitor, the manager, and the zoning official with the people on Helen Avenue with their issue with the Ferrara machine shop. Hopefully they'll figure something out. We can all coexist in harmony and all that. The second thing was I think some stop signs were recently installed on Reservoir Road. I guess the idea is to try to calm traffic down. Hopefully that'll do the trick. That's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Mrs. Carlson, District 1.
Just a couple of things. That Shady Valley, the road was fixed, and it looks like since it rained the last time, things might be actually better. The ponding seems to be under control, so let's hope that, you know, going forward. So I don't see Kevin, but he's gotten some thank you notes, so that's good. And Maple Valley is being worked on, and it looks a little wider, which is good, much safer. And Town Farm has been worked on also. I think we're sharing that, right? Town Farm?
Yeah, it goes up to,
Yeah, so
Town Farm's looking good already.
that's it.
Thank you. Mr. LeBosson here, District 2.
Again, District 2, I want to thank the voters of District 2 for re-electing me to the position. I've enjoyed the last 4 years, and I look forward to 4 more, trying to really work with the town manager and the administration to make things happen. Congratulations, Mr. McGee, on the re-election. Congratulations, Mrs. Bacon. And again, 4 years, we got a lot more things to do. So, I'm very happy to be working with this group. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, just one more thing. I want to say that Wayne has been an incredible asset the last, what, 3 or 4
3
months?
months.
2 months? 3 months?
3 months.
Wow, I lost September and October completely. He's got a great attitude, he's a great worker, and he asks great questions, and that's what this is all about. So I want to thank you, and I appreciate you stepping up and doing this, and hopefully, thank you. Thanks.
And we will make special notice the next month, next meeting on the 28th, following Thanksgiving, thanks to Mr. Aslan. District 4, Arnold Road, long overdue, will be some delays. Obviously, if you can avoid passing through, I would recommend doing so, but sorely needed, and we'll just have to persevere. That's all I have for District 4. And at this time then, the District Council update's over. I'd like to ask for a motion then to go into open session for public hearing.
So moved.
For the purpose, thank you.
Oh, sorry.
For the purpose, that was my hesitation, for the purpose of petition for abandonment, portion of Carr and Lambert Streets, reference 1. So I have a motion, do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are in open public hearing session. So, Mr. Waters, I'll turn it over to you, I guess, at this time.
Sure. The council will find in their packets the planning board, planning commission's recommendation for the petition of abandonment for a portion of Carr and Lambert Street, as well as submitted by the attorney, in fact, of the petitioners. For more information, I'll let our town solicitor provide some more information on the
Okay.
again.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Goran.
So there's a petition for abandonment of a portion of Carr Street and Lambert Street. And there's a survey, so you can see very clearly what portions their petitioners are proposing to abandon. As you can see, it's on the 6th page of the package. And the way we've done abandonments before, so I'm not going to go through the whole statute, but the one interesting thing came up in this case. The petitioner gave notice only to those who abut, that is, notice by certified mail, only to landowners who abut the portions of Lambert Street and Carr Street that will be abandoned. There's more to Carr Street, there's more to Lambert Street that is going to remain. I pointed out that I thought the petitioner had to give notice to everyone on that street by certified mail. That's personal service. And there is actually a Supreme Court case that says you do not. It was a 3-2 decision by the Supreme Court of Rhode Island. So that means that the minimum notice is that you only have to give notice to the minimum notice required by law. They have complied with, as far as I can see. But it gets to be a bit of a quandary when you consider the question of damages, because we have to consider whether it's worthwhile to abandon this and still subject ourselves to the risk that somebody may come forward after the hearing and say they want to be paid damages. They have a year to present a claim, and they get a jury trial on it. So that's kind of the thing I think we need to deal with tonight is, I think this is a good plan for abandonment. The question is, how do we make sure we don't get sued for damages? And I think it's appropriate to just turn it over to counsel, who pointed that very important case out to me that I was not aware of about notice. So.
The first time I looked at the case was 20 years. My name is Lou Baldy. I'm an attorney representing the petitioner. I've got offices at 445 Budlong Road, Cranston, Rhode Island. And so far as the damages are concerned, The only way that a person could come forward, or one of the ways, and I can't think of many other ones, is to show that their access to their property has been diminished or taken away. There's been a few cases in the Supreme Court where compensation is given to those people who are actually damaged. You can't just raise the damage flag and say, because of this abandonment, I've been damaged because I used to walk my dog on the property, I can't do that anymore, those kinds of things. If you allow this abandonment, nobody's access is going to change. Nobody has to take an extra left-hand turn. They don't have to back out of their driveways from the way the engineer had planned it. So all the land that's being abandoned doesn't change anybody's access to their property. And in my way of thinking, damages could only be awarded if there was harm done to the abutter. And in this scenario, the way the engineer mapped it out, nothing changes. And the property as it stands now is undeveloped. There's no pathways, there's no, I think the people have expanded out onto what's going to be abandoned, but that's only human nature. So the damages, I don't think are, they have to prove it, but they have to have an actual basis for it. Like I said, you just can't say, well, they abandoned the property, you have to compensate. That's my take on what damages are, on the issue here in front of you, so far as the damages are concerned.
So this property, if I'm not mistaken, is being subdivided into 2 lots, correct?
Correct, so here's the scheme. Here's our land development. Right now, we have what we own is 34,915 square feet. We're abandoning 13,000 by the portions of Lambert and Carr, which will give us an extra 6,500 square feet, which gives us a total of about 41,250 square feet, so we meet the requirements for the 20,000 square foot requirements, R20 or whatever you call it. And by doing that, what happens there is the engineer can then engineer the septic design, engineer the well to conform to whatever the Department of Environmental Management criteria is for a septic system and a well on the same piece of property. So that's basically why we're doing it.
Make a comment if I could, Mr. President.
Yeah, sure.
This is actually pretty common practice for the town to abandon streets that, I'm no longer, we just went through in my district where we abandoned one. I just feel it's we're much better off to be receiving tax money on it and receiving coming in than we are with a street that we're never going to use. If I'm correct, there's a gravel bank back there, besides, the neighborhood, but there's a gravel bank. So it just, in my eyes, it looks like it's a good thing for the town as far as receiving the tax money on the development. So it's just my comment.
So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 owners were notified.
Actually, I notified 6. I didn't.
Because I'm looking for, I don't see lot 23 listed. And 21 is an existing
Well,
lot.
23 doesn't abut. If you look at the abandonment map,
Yeah.
let me get my bearings here. Yeah, if you look at the abandonment map, Assessors Plat 37, Lot 23 actually doesn't abut any of the property that's going to be abandoned.
Well, neither does 24, but 24 got a letter, right? No, it didn't.
No, actually,
No, it didn't.
Actually, I sent one to 23. I don't know why I did, but there were 6 people that I gave to the town clerk the affidavit of notice and the receipts.
Where's 20?
20 is the property that my people own. So you have to send,
Oh,
you have to send
20's
notice to
listed
them
out
too.
here. All right. Okay, so the 200-foot rule didn't apply to this, Nick?
Well, the 200-foot rule you might be thinking about,
Abutters.
that's for zoning. That's for someone who typically, that's the minimum notice requirement for zoning, a radius of 200 feet
Yeah.
from the property line. This is totally different.
Okay.
The law is that if you abut the portion of the street that is to be abandoned, then under the statute, it's 24(6)(1) and 2, you get personal notice only if you abut that portion to be abandoned. Otherwise, you are relegated to the newspaper ad, which we did run for the last 3 weeks. And as Mr. Baldy correctly pointed out to me, the Supreme Court said that is sufficient notice. That doesn't mean that you can't require additional notice if you want to, but
Well, I'm just
that is,
wondering
but it's
because
legally sufficient to do what Mr. Baldy did.
I'm looking at Carr Street, and 19 and 22 are across the street on Carr, but so is 24 and 23. 19 and 22 got letters, and 23 is directly across Carr Street.
It doesn't apply.
What?
They're not taking Carr Street at 24 and 23, they're only taking it back.
Oh, this part?
Yes.
Not this part, okay, thank you.
Could I ask, how many other properties are along Lambert Street going out to South Main Street that maybe were not notified? What's the number, Mrs. George? Do you know how many other properties, like 19, 18,
I believe there are 4.
17?
I
Oh,
may
do
be
you have
able,
that answer, Mr. Baldy?
I may be able to answer that.
Okay.
It isn't. It's actually 4.
Okay.
On Carr, because I gave notice to 23. 24 is on Carr, but I didn't have to notify them because of the advertising statute. And I didn't notify 3 lots on Lambert that weren't abutting the abandonment, which were assessors 37, lot 18, well, 16, 17, and 18.
Okay. And just for the sake of argument, if we wanted to totally cover the town side, how difficult would it be to notify those other 3?
I have no problem doing it.
Okay, because, you know, I would think that, you know, courts should go with, you know, past precedent, but hypothetically, you never know how a court or a judge may say, and I don't know who lives on those lots, I really don't. But per se, what if they did complain? And Mr. Gorham, did you mention that to the, on the prudent side, or do you think maybe we don't have to go on the prudent side? Because I don't mind rolling the dice.
Maybe we need to hear.
Our public hearing is
Yeah,
over.
I know that.
There's some folks here that
Well,
that have
yeah, but
something to say.
let me ask my question first, before I worry about anybody else, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Mr. Gorham?
The safest way to proceed, the
Yeah.
most prudent way,
Yes.
the most prudent way to
Right.
proceed is to ask the applicant to at least attempt to
Right.
get each of the abutters who have already received notice and those who have not.
Okay,
All of them who have
which would be another 4.
property abutting Lambert or Carr Street, which would be a total of, I think, well, what was on the petition plus 4, to sign off on damages, because the damages section of the law says that anybody the owners of land abutting on a town highway or driftway in any town shall be entitled upon the abandonment to receive compensation. It doesn't, as far as I can tell, and Mr. Baldy, disagree with me if you think I'm wrong.
I'm ready.
It doesn't discriminate between those who abut the portion that is being abandoned and those who do not. It simply says everybody who I think is an abutter on that street has a right to claim damages. Now, their claim may not be very good, but
Right, because of access. Well,
it's something that would be a great thing for the General Assembly to fix, to make this easier.
Okay.
Because we have to play a guessing game ultimately about whether we're gonna get sued. And
on
it
the
kinda
ones
puts-
that haven't signed off.
Well, it forces us to ask the petitioners, who
Right.
otherwise have, I think, a valid petition, to go do something that we would prefer not to guess about, which is ask other landowners on the street to sign off and say, we're not gonna sue the town for damages, because once we abandon it, we can't take it back.
Right.
That's the problem.
I understand.
Well, the whole point there is, well, let me answer this. So we'll go out and get waivers from these people. If they say I'm not signing,
Right.
so then what we do is we're supplanting their decisions as against the council's decision.
Right.
And at bare minimum, everybody under the law, by the notice requirement, has been notified. And then you have the public notice. So if anybody has disagreements or whatever, they can be here tonight by two ways. Number one, they were personally notified, and number two, they were publicly notified. But what happens then is if somebody is obstinate, if somebody's had a bad day, if somebody just doesn't want a good project like this to continue, then they're gonna have a power. They're gonna say, well, I'm not signing it, I'm not gonna sue you for damages, but I'm not signing it. And that puts us in a position where, and I think that the other end of this, the other spectrum here is, I'll say it to you again, being an attorney, people have to prove actual damages. They can't have frivolous claims or any of this.
You would think so.
We make a lot of money doing it.
Mr. President, if I may, I think he answered my question, that people were notified, or the abutters were notified that by law had to be, and you did your due diligence in doing that. The other people also had an opportunity to publicly be notified.
That's why.
So there's nobody that doesn't know that this project's going on, on Lander Street, or should know if they live there.
Correct. Correct.
Well, there's no one who hasn't received legally sufficient notice.
Right.
They may know and they may not know. A lot of people get these things and they don't have any idea what they say. But that doesn't undermine the sufficiency of the notice. The notice is still valid. Yeah.
Mr. President, I have a question too after.
Sure.
Yeah. This is a separate question. I went on the Secretary of State's website today to look up SNS LLC. It says that its mailing address and location is 2289 Flat River Road, Coventry. On the petition, it says 405 Tioga Avenue. I just have a question. I mean, should the address be changed for this petition or not? And I'm not sure how important that information is.
As long as they got notice. In other words, I sent it to 405 Tioga Ave. That's what I had to my clients. That's what I had to notify them to send the notices out. As long as they receive notice, which they have because I've got the card back from them at 405 Tioga Ave. It's been signed.
But that was the question.
Okay,
Yeah,
You got it.
thank you.
Okay,
they better know about it.
members of the public, it is open public hearing. Anyone that might be interested in making comments or asking questions, this would be the time to do so.
Mr. President, can I just make one more quick comment while you're
Sure.
with
Then I don't see any hands up yet. Go ahead.
I just want to make sure that everybody on the council knows that this, and I'm sure you did look at the packet, but this did come with a positive.
Yes.
And a unanimous decision from the planning to approve this. So
I
just wanted-
understand that,
okay.
but then I was also informed that they're not the ones that's going to get sued.
Yeah, well, I realize that,
Okay.
but I mean, normally,
I got it.
I have faith in our
I
planning
got-
department.
I got it.
All right.
I understand, unanimous. Any comments from the public? Yes, ma'am.
Hi,
Come on forward.
my name is Mary Ann Ritchie, and I
Come on forward if you could, so we could all hear name and address for the record. Mrs. George will get it for you.
I own Miss
Hi.
Mary Ritchie. I own, I own 13 Carr Street and 33 Carr Street.
Okay. Which is, what lot on this map? Yeah.
It's lot 22, I see one of them, it's 22.
Okay, yeah, Mrs. Ritchie.
So I own 22. And, must be this one here, and lot 20 maybe, 20, 22?
Lot 20 is the 405 Tioga Avenue.
No,
No, lot 20 is the one.
they do want to buy.
Well, what is that on there?
So I own, lot 22 is right where this street is.
Yeah.
So they, lot
I have
22, yeah, and the other ones are budding lots?
No, see, the one on my 22 is the budding lot.
Okay.
because the street's over here. So I just have more of a question. So I have the two houses. If we do abolish this road, the land, could you maybe, can somebody touch base on what happens to that land? Do we split the land? Or how does that go? Or does the person, I have a question. Do the people that's what this other lot get that land? Or do we split this road?
That's a fair question.
Is somebody going to?
Okay, that's their attorney, but that might not be the final
The
answer.
way it works is,
Yep.
once the land is abandoned,
Right,
the abutter on one side of the road gets half the road, and the other abutter gets, so I think the road's 30 feet wide, so they would get 15 feet by the length of what they abut. We would get the length of 15 feet wide by the length of what we abut.
okay.
And that's-
Mr. Crosman's not here.
But that's.
Does that sound right,
like, is
Mr.
it
Gordon?
written? No, that, you know, you just want to make
Right,
sure. I
right.
mean, the two houses.
Under title law on an abandonment, the property owner automatically gets one half. I mean, it's a well-settled principle in the state of Rhode Island. I don't know where it's written,
Town of Coventry, I think, asked for payment.
but I know that's the way it's done.
I agree with Mr. Baldy. I think it's in the statute. I'm trying to find it, but I do agree that the land is divided between the two
Divided
property
equally.
owners.
Well, that was a good question.
Only that piece of property, man, that you front.
Yes.
Right, you get the 15.
Yeah, right there, and then you get this.
Now, what were the two addresses that you had?
13 Carr Street is the one that abuts. And I have 33 Carr Street, which is across from the lot.
33.
Okay.
The only thing I would point out to Ms. Ritchie is that the statute does say that if that portion of Carr Street was at any time established as a legal right-of-way, not a road, but before it was a road, a legal right-of-way, this does not diminish the rights of others to use that right-of-way who had that right before the road was created. So you may be getting half of the road, but it may still be subject to a right-of-way.
But this road is all trees.
Okay, well,
It's not- yeah.
Okay, it's a paper street, so,
Yes.
but if it's subject to a right-of-way, you might be surprised.
Wow.
Oh, so then that might change
You don't know,
everything.
you don't know. You know, it doesn't come with a warranty
Right,
from
right.
the town. If we abandon it, that's all we do.
Buyer beware. How come the town don't take care of it?
They are.
There's a lot of papers.
Yeah, but a lot of trees came down, I had to clean it up, because the town didn't come down and do it.
There's a lot in the town of Coventry.
Trees and everything.
No, we live right on the
How
corner.
about any other questions? Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Terry Slattery, and I live at 7 Lambert Street.
7, okay,
It's not on the map.
okay.
I built the house 6 years ago, and a road you want to abandon is my driveway. I've been keeping it up for the past 6 years, and that's my driveway.
Legally, or you've been using it as your driveway?
I've been using it for that.
Okay, well, using it and having it, you know, is sometimes legally two different things.
Well, now, if this goes through, would somebody be able to exit out of that lot 20 or whatever it is, onto my road and down Lambert Street? So that way to go through my living room?
That's
Oh, well, in
a
essence,
question.
yeah, I mean, if you're abutting, it would look like 15 feet of that would go, so your driveway, again, not, I think I know where it is,
Yeah.
up there, I've been up that way, but I don't know, maybe the attorney could certainly answer that. As to what.
Well, Mr. Studley's here, maybe he should answer.
Well, as to
Because
where
he knows the
his,
plans.
as to where his,
Take a look.
because he's on the.
This is you. Is it?
I don't know. Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah, it's.
Well, because Landberg goes all the way up,
Right,
and you come down it.
right.
So once we abandon this, you're gonna get half of this roadway. you're gonna get, this is 30 feet, 37 inches or whatever, you're gonna get half of that, because it's gonna be attached to the other. This we're not touching,
Okay.
in front of the way.
Will they be able to drive, like a driveway coming off of there onto that road?
Oh,
Yeah.
are you gonna access from Barber or from Lambert? No, no, we're coming up this way.
That's guaranteed, I mean, it's not.
Well, we have to, that's the way it's been engineered. We're not gonna come down Lambert, we're gonna go through Barber.
Now, those lots, it says there was an existing well on there. 6 years ago, there was junk cars and antifreeze, and oil and diesel fuel, and everything else going in there, and
Well, there's gonna be a new well dug.
I'm going,
Has to be. There's proposed water. Once they engineer it, then the wells will have to be tested.
because when I built my house, they made me tie in on Main, I own all the way down to Main Street.
Okay.
So
South
I
Main
had
Street, no?
I had to tie in, it cost me $20,000 to bring the water up, because they said you could never get a well.
Well, the well, once it's dug, is gonna have to be, I mean, that's part of the engineering, it's gonna have to be tested. And
You gotta-
They
want
want to get
that-
a certificate of occupancy, I mean,
That's,
it's all polluted.
that's for the
Well, as soon as you
engineer.
got a water line up there, they don't wanna, check,
I only can use, my water line can only be used for my property.
yeah, yeah.
I thought they were tying into a water line.
No, she said wells.
No, but,
No,
now,
he's
John,
got a
when you
water
went to
line.
planning, excuse me, Mr. Studley, when you went to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, Mr. Barber? Baldy?
This
Sorry.
is for well.
Barber Street. I was at planning when this came up. I thought they talked about tying into something. Are they digging a well?
Yes. I don't remember anything about municipal, that's why we needed the 20,000 square, that was the whole purpose, is we want to tie in somewhere, we probably would have taken another track and gone to zoning and split the lots and then do 2 undersized lots, but in order for us to get the wells, the 2 wells on that property, we needed the 20,000 square feet for EM.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Has
and the- I mean,
DEM been
you
out
know,
there yet to
the-
look at the property and talk about the wells, and the testing of water, perking and all that?
I'm sorry.
Has DEM been out there yet?
I think, well, there's an existing septic design now, so they had to perk it, they had to, they went through that on one section of the property, but now what they're gonna do is they'll have to perk the other, once it's subdivided now.
Right.
With the 20,000 square feet on both sides, then they're gonna perk whatever they didn't perk before, and then drop wells in, and then the wells gotta be tested. And if they're contaminated or whatever, then they're gonna be filtered, or we find another avenue. But that's our problem.
Yeah, I know, I'm just
That's
trying
our
to
problem.
see where we are in the
Yeah, I understand.
business gentleman.
I was gonna go with a well, and they told me it would never get passed. That's the thing, that's why I spent $20,000 to bring the water.
And you're up lot 26,
Is that-
Mr. Slattery, is that?
Yes, that's me.
Okay. All right,
So I guess
Good-
that
good comment.
they wouldn't be exiting and going in on where the road is now?
No, you just said it would come in on, off Barber.
Off Barber.
And again, now your properties would abut, so, at that point, so with that road being abandoned, right down to the end of Carr Street, correct?
Yeah.
That's where it's done.
Yeah. Okay.
So in essence, you would only have access from Lambert Street though,
Right.
Yeah, which is where you probably only go up through that way anyway.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
It ends. Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah, I've been up there, turned around.
Yeah, you turned around, huh?
Probably in our case.
Yeah, right. And that goes to my question.
anyone else? Yes.
Well, I turned around to get this driveway, as I was going up there.
Hi, I'm Eileen.
Hi, good evening.
I'm Eileen, and I live on lot 19, 16 Lambert Street.
19.
And you're Mr. Sharp or Ms.?
That's me,
Okay,
Eileen
all
Sharp.
right, I just wanted to get the full name for the record.
Thank you for having the road paved, by the way. I mean, it's only this much road, but thank you. My question is, if this is indeed abandoned, can we in some form put a sign at the bottom of the hill that states that it's not an outlet.
That end.
I get traffic up there all the time, and they're forever turning around in my driveway.
I think we could put a dead end sign, you know.
Well, the statute actually requires that the town post, if abandonment is approved, the town posts a sign that says not a public highway.
Okay.
And then after that, if Mr. Baldy's clients want, they can just block the road because it's been, it's been abandoned. It's no longer a road, it's private property.
Right.
But
I guess it's been on Google
unless
Maps, and
it's-
everybody comes up and says, how do I get through? I said, you don't.
Because they're looking for the road to go through.
Yes, you
yeah.
turn around, you go back.
Right. Unless it's, like I said, the law specifically says if there's an old right-of-way that goes through there, somebody might have the right to go through there, but not the public.
Right.
Because it's not a public highway any longer.
Okay.
So, you'd probably have less traffic if this went through, is what it sounds like. But that's for you to decide,
Yeah, there's a lot of cars that come up that hill to turn around and go back down, so, believe it or not.
So,
Yeah.
so what our solicitors saying, it might still have less traffic probably. We hope.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments regarding this request? Anyone? Anybody else on the council have any questions?
Like I said,
Yeah,
it's my district, and I agree with the project. I think that, it's definitely gonna, add some new homes in the, a couple homes in the area, and it makes sense. And again, what it does, it helps the, helps the people who are already there by giving them a little bit more land, and the project as well, too.
So everyone's just thinking about rolling the dice and just going with the abutters that have been notified officially. Okay. All right. Mr. Gold, can we make a motion then, maybe?
Well, we'll have to motion to
Yes,
close.
Well,
public
yeah, I
hearing.
know that. I just,
The,
before we close it off.
no, there's nothing, everyone who got notice that wanted to speak has spoken. so-
Okay. All right, then I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Yeah, motion to close.
And second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public hearing is now closed. And then entertain a motion to,
I'll make that motion to approve the abandonment.
I'll say, and a second. Any discussion? Okay,
Yeah. There was one other thing, just to make sure we.
discussion,
go
that's
through
good, that's
everything
why I
thoroughly.
asked.
There is a provision in the law, and it says that the town can sell the land that accrues to these abutting landowners upon abandonment at fair market value. Now, I don't know what the value of that land would be. It may be nothing, but I just want to make you aware before you vote, you do have the right to basically demand that they pay fair market value. I don't know what half a street is going for these days, and I don't even know how you determine that.
I've been on 6 years and abandoned many roads, and I've never, ever heard that before. So,
Well, he just
But it's
wanted
in the
to,
no, I'm, I
he
mean,
wanted to
I have to
inform
tell
us.
I'm not doubting you, I've just never heard that. We've abandoned many, it's the first time I've heard it, we get market value for that.
But,
Future.
the councilman pointed out to me today that it's entirely possible that you would get more money in tax revenue by
Right.
turning it back over to taxable property
Right.
than you would at fair
Otherwise,
market value.
yeah.
So it may be,
We'll gamble on it. Okay, so I got a motion, then, and a second. If there's no other discussion, then, all in favor?
Aye.
How do you say?
Aye. Guys have it. Very good.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Pauly. Good luck with it. Okay.
Not my problem.
Right.
Cheryl,
All right, next on the agenda, we have general public comment. Public comment at this time. Issues that individuals would like to bring forward? Any issues? Okay. Hearing none, then motion to adjourn. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Have a real nice, happy Thanksgiving. See you on the 28th of November. That's